contracted the virus from being on board the Diamond Princess. I am currently in quarantine in Omaha, Nebraska. My wife and I took off for Tokyo on January 17th. We had a 15-day wonderful cruise of our 16 days. On the final day, we learned a passenger exited the ship in Hong Kong and came down with the virus. We rushed back a day early to Yokohama. Japanese officials came on board, tested everybody. They announced that we were going to be quarantined on our ship for 14 days. The State Department had sent 2 military 747 cargo planes to us, picked us up in Tokyo. I got up after waking up with a high fever. Doctor confirmed that, yes, I had a fever over 103. He put me in a quarantine area on the plane where there were already 8 other passengers. I was one of 9. What's weird about these symptoms, and seems to be true for almost everybody, is I went days without knowing I had the virus. Then all of a sudden, just clicking my fingers, I jumped from normal temperature to 103. I developed a small dry cough, but unlike colds or other flus that I've had, there was no stuffiness in the nose, no nose drip, no sneezing, no body aches, no chills. So that was the weird part of this. My worst symptom was the fever, and that hit for only about 8 hours. And then like every fever after that, I was drained, feeling lethargic. I was definitely dehydrated. There are no antibiotics for this, so they were pumping me up with a ton of Gatorade. I've been through every color of the rainbow of Gatorade to keep myself hydrated. And other than having the dry cough that still persists, it's getting better now. My containment area was about a 20 by 30 foot room. My wife never got the virus. She was put in a lower level biocontainment area where I am now. I don't know how she didn't get it and how I ended up getting it. I'm still stuck here while having to undergo 3 separate tests 24 hours in a row of being negative in order to be released. My recommendation to everyone is just be smart. This virus is something that is only a mild cold for 98% of the people. And be smart about this. People think that I can transmit the virus via my iPhone. I'm hearing all kinds of crazy things about how they think this virus can be transmitted. It's not, and there's no need to panic over this. Just be cautious.
For the most part, everybody's got a real good attitude. Can't help anything, but everybody's holding it together pretty well.
Yeah, they're treating, the atmosphere, I mean, everybody's in their rooms. They are letting people that smoke out at 15-minute intervals, and they're being cautious, have to wear masks to and from transport. Obviously not wearing masks when you're smoking, but they give about 15 minutes, and that gives a little bit of a social setting, but we're practicing social distancing. The captain's been in communication with
every 3 hours.
Every 3 hours until I think 9 o'clock, from 9 in the morning until 9 at night, I think is what it is. So every 3 hours or sooner, if he has any information, he gets on the intercom and lets us know what's going on. They've also posted some things on the television for us. The conference that was with all of the questions a couple days ago, it was 70 minutes, I think. So they posted that. They're giving us packets with news information every day as well. So they're not keeping us in the dark. They have provided a mental health counseling line that anybody can call. The food is running low, but that's to be expected. We're out, we're on the ship much longer than anticipated. So, and that's not their fault. I think when we get to shore, there's an outside company that is going to be catering to us, which is great. So my concern is just food running low for the diabetics and for people that require more protein and more nutrition.
Which I am.
Which she is, yes. So
but they're doing their best to give me whatever protein they can get their hands on, some cheese,
Yeah. Their treatment's been great. Hopefully we won't be on the ship more than 2 more days. Counting today is the first day, but I don't know. Yeah, we really don't know until we're screened and by the CDC, I think that we'll have a better understanding as to what is going to happen to us. And I feel like we won't know where we're going to go until we get our tags.
Right.
Is how I feel. We know how we are quarantined here on the ship, but it's kind of an unknown. Like, we don't know. Okay, we know that the federal government, they're shipping us off to a base somewhere. We don't know where, what that atmosphere is going to be like, what we're going to have available to us. Like, now we have our phones. We're able to stay with our cabin mates. Are we going to be in bunkers? And, are we going to be in a huge open room where they've had us quarantined singularly in our rooms? Are they going to put us all together now, or what's going to happen with that? That's the only thing that just comes to mind. I mean, I'm not worried about getting sick. I'm not worried about contracting the virus. I'm healthy and I'm fairly young. And Mom, she's
I'm a fairly
healthy.
Young 63-year-old.
Yes. Yes. She actually celebrated her birthday on this cruise. We miss being home, but hopefully it won't be more than 2 weeks.
We're just anxious to get back to our daily routine.
Yeah.
My wife and I originally planned a trip to Southeast Asia around this time. And because of the coronavirus, we thought it was going to be high risk going to that area. So we thought we'd do something safe and travel within the U.S. instead. So we actually made change of plan to go to Hawaii. We embarked on the ship on February 21st. Sometime during the trip back to Ensenada, they told us that because of the previous case of coronavirus, that we were heading straight back as soon as we can back to San Francisco. The general mood for the audience or the passengers here was actually pretty good. I was actually surprised that people were still moving around about. People were close to people. The cruise line itself canceled, I think, an event in the theater, but there were still many public events that they still held, which was really surprising to me. It didn't seem like people were upset. There was no screaming or yelling or anything like that. The food quality is pretty bad, and the quantity was very, very small. In times of emergency like this, I just think you just have to be flexible, right? For my wife and I, Judy, we actually sort of self-imposed a little bit of a quarantine ourselves. And we, stayed in our room most of the time. Princess has done a reasonably good job of putting a lot of videos on their on-demand platform. But, realistically, there's only so much I can watch, So a lot of times you're just moping around and being slightly pathetic. They started having people take turns walking around the ship. Even if we had a chance to, I probably would just stay in store anyways, just to be safe, Right now, we still don't have a set time as when we're going to disembark. Fortunately for us, we're California residents, so we're second in line in terms of sort of the priority list. I'll keep my fingers crossed.